Shalom, Laha Alahayim, Tawab Bawakwar, peace to the gods, good morning, Nawathan, Kahaloyim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Hakodash, giving all praises to Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors unto the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the head elders of all the camps of Great Millstone, GMS, who do who well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the house of David, the hopeful elect, predestined for salvation. Starting with the governing body, the 144,000, 12,000 men of each tribe of Israel, as well as the remaining 1/3 of men, women, and children, who not only hear the gospel, but doers of it, of the good news as well. It's your brother Tazapanya with a morning meditation, spiritual commentary, before I head off into the plantation. All right, Lord willing, is edifying to the elect through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah. As you can see, FEMA concentration camps, okay, it's not a hypothetical situation or scenario, Gregory Manarino. It's biblical. All right, it's biblical, and we're going to get into it because he's going into this, the news that he's referred to in his newsletter. Well, I'll put this out there first because I'm going to do a little short. I have a YouTube short I'm going to play as well. Just like I made a video last week talking about be prepared in the next couple of days, a bank collapsing. You have Metro Bank in the United Kingdom, all right, that dropped 33%. They go to number 33 again, all right, in stocks where they had to close the stock market for volatility, all right, and they're saying, don't be surprised if you see it like how out here we have the FDIC, whatever regulatory department buys up that bank that is exposed to very important industries and other businesses and things of that nature in the UK, and how it will trickle down. Okay, so showing you that this thing is global as well, but more banks, because of them being overly, what do they call it? The liquidity crisis. They don't have no fucking money, man. All right, because it's all kinkered. All right, as it says in James 5, it ain't shit. It's not backed on nothing. And they doing this on purpose to bring in the great global reset. All right, but he's going into how Biden wants to get some Republican voters next time, which, you know, and we all know that shit is stupid voting, right? But about building a wall and all of that, but it's coming out that they don't want people to leave basically when shit hit the fan to try to go into Mexico. If you've seen the last purge, right, you remember how, which was spiritual, how so-called Native American, so-called Mexican, and a so-called black man, they came together to fight to go down into Mexico because they was trying to get away from the purge scenario. And that's kind of similar to what's to come. And he's going to talk about it a little bit with the border crisis and this housing crash. You see, because they building all these houses, interest rates is going up and nobody's living in them. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Right now, what I want you to have, please.
If you notice, you can't even see it. It says close the borders, lockdown. So lockdowns is coming back, man. Whether it be climate change lockdowns, whether it be pestilence lockdown, all right, whether it be martial law type lockdown, all right, we have to be prepared for these things with the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai only by being in this truth, because wisdom and knowledge will keep us stable in the times to come, specifically Jacob's trouble, all right, when they mandate that MOTB.
Thanks. Let us move forward. Again, lovely about the borders. Close the borders. I spelled it wrong. Lockdown. Let us throw out a hypothetical situation. Michaela Pike, I appreciate that very much. Anyway, let's do this. Let's throw out a hypothetical. Right? I want you to think just a little bit here. How is the current environment looking to you? Beautiful, perfect? Okay. You are a United States citizen and some unforeseen, really, event occurs And like, for example, a few of them here, an accidental chemical release or an
Notice how he tried to be sarcastic with the unforeseen event occurs. All right, you got to remember in the book of Proverbs, it says a prudent man foreseeth the evil, but the simple pass on and go punish, roughly paraphrasing. All right, so if what is coming is not seen, that means you're not doing your job as an Israelite. All right, being a watchman, setting upon, thy watchtower, standing up upon thy watchtower. All right, you're not seeing what's to come. All right, and that is what we are supposed to be doing as prophets, as men of the Lord, man. All right, and warning the people from him. Who is him? Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai.
hack, some unforeseen event occurs, and like, for example, a few of them here, an accidental chemical release or an attack, a nuclear accident or intentional detonation of a nuclear device or another bioweapon, okay? Or perhaps a complete economic meltdown, a collapse, leaving store shelves empty, no fuel, gasoline, the grid goes down, access to cash gone, non-existent, or some other event.
All those events are possible. Okay? The scriptures say we know in part and we prophesy in part. So we don't know exactly what's going to lead to this mandate of the charagma, all right, punishable by death. But we do know what's to come in the scriptures, all right, as far as prophecy. 2 Esdras 9:1 says, measure the time thou diligently in itself. Okay, so we know the three main prophecies to come up. The biggest one being the mandating of the MOTB, ensuing the hour of temptation. Then we know World War III with the missiles popping off, the climax of World War III with the ICBM missiles turning America to a lake of fire simultaneously as Yahweh Shai, all right, comes back, all right, to save the elect and to destroy all these kingdoms and take their crowns. Now, before all of that, all right, we are assuming, according to the scriptures, because it says that there shall be a great crashing from the hills, that there's going to be a stock market, a global, all right, economic meltdown, stock market crash, hyperinflation that ensues, all right, a famine of bread, all right, food, victuals, all right, and an increasing in pestilence, fighting with one another, civil war, race war, all right, a crazy scenario, a time that you have never seen. And we do believe that that is the climax of that is going to be Salakia, when they push that chip, all right. Yahweh Shah said, I've come to send fire upon the earth, but what will I have already be kindled? So this shit is already going to be on fire. You see what I'm saying? Physically and spiritually. Not no missiles and shit like that with, thermonuclear equipped, detonations, but, shit hitting the fan,
Which forces you and your family to have to migrate across the border immediately.
So this is why he brought up the housing crash, all right, because there's not even going to be enough houses that is fully developed. This is why they bring in the 15-minute cities. This is why they're destroying certain places and taking away businesses down, right? So that certain places of America is uninhabitable. You know what I'm saying? And then they trying to hoard you like sheep into this one gate, so to speak. But by bringing in all these migrants as well, all right, they want things to be overpopulated in these zones or nodes of where you live at. You see what I'm saying? And through that, like he was just saying, whatever happens, people is going to try to migrate, all right, because it's going to be so bad. But let's get a quick scripture in 2nd Esdras. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, so martial law is in the scriptures and will happen. All right. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled and the houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. You see? So there's going to be a super prideful scenario of the people that live here, of the migrants that's coming across and what's going on in reaction that is orchestrated from the elites, from Esau, Edom, in America, that causes people to destroy people's houses, and people is going to be trying to run from them, trying to run from the police state. You see what I'm saying? And vigilantes, marauders, and people that live in the city is going to be, by the millions going into the field. And that's why I brought it up. If you live in an off grid, listen, you thinking you're going to be there out there by yourself, man. There's going to be so many people, on some Walking Dead type shit, moving around, doing this, trying to, you see, on some real Book of Eli type shit, Mad Max type shit. Hunger Games type shit. You see what I'm saying? You know the spells and the that wacky shit Amalek do, with the Hollywood. You feel me? Throwing shit out there, predictive programming and all that. All right. So yeah, this shit is about to hit the fan and it's coming.
Gone, non-existent, or some other event which forces you and your family to have to migrate across the border immediately. And I go on to say it is extremely naive to believe that something like this could not happen, especially in this environment. I've told all of you already, have the high ground always. I don't think there's a single person here, not one, that actually trusts the government here. They will do things and have things planned for us that I don't think would be too far-fetched on any level to think that it would possibly happen.
And not trusting the government eventually leads to sedition. Okay, verse 16 in 2nd Esdras 15. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Why? Because they don't trust the government, and they want people to not trust it. That's why they put all this dumb shit out here, showing you how the government moves stupidly, all right, which is just trolling. You feel me? They basically trolling the population so people could be like, oh my God, look at this dumb shit, because they want you to not trust it because of order ad chaos. And notice how he said to take the high ground. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of like what Yahushua prophesied to the people, all right, in 70 AD, before obviously 78, but before the time of 70 AD, talking about flee into the mountains. You see what I'm saying? But in a spiritual sense, especially right now, the high ground is Mount Zion, to Zion. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to be fleeing spiritually out of Babylon and staying in this truth, while shit is about to hit the fan. Now, when that time comes, however the Most High deals with it, with his elect, Lord willing, we have that number, we will know through the Spirit, when it's time to be a physical pilgrim, so to speak, upon the earth. You feel me? If we have to, start making moves and things of that nature, because we're going to be killed in the root word, where it means separated, for not worshiping the image of the beast and taking his mark. You see, so the people that don't go with it, they're going to be public enemy number one. And this is where the whole not hypothetical situation comes in, because it's biblical, talking about those FEMA concentration camps, which he's going to talk about.
What did they do when they shut down the economy last time? They shut down air travel. People were trapped in their houses. You were forced to wear masks and everything freaking else. You think something like that couldn't happen to a much greater degree via some other kind of event that could go off here? So we're moving forward. So Biden now finishes Trump's wall, and you can't get out. Throngs of people. Again, air travel would obviously stop. You couldn't get out by air or anything else. Of course, our loving, caring leaders would end up in some kind of a bunker. Of course, they would be able to be flown out of the nation.
And this proves that it's going to be a great salvation via the angels, the chariots of Israel, what the Esau Edom, the so-called white man, calls UFOs from America, because you're not going to be able. There's no flight doctrine. There's no, getting your money up and leaving, or Listen, you show by your faith, by staying in America and prophesying and enduring unto the end, that he will save his elect, whether that be you, all right, Lord willing it is. All right. So trying to flee when all hell breaks loose, man. You see what I'm saying? You're not keeping your eye single on your shot anyway, but ain't no ways of getting out of this motherfucker. All right. When shit is crazy. Niggas don't even have the money barely to make a move now. Niggas can make a little vacation or some shit like that, but niggas don't have the type of funds to be able to substantially, stop, drop, shut it down, open up shop in Ghana or Colombia, the DR, Nigeria, Thailand,
as well, like they did after 9/11. You remember all that? Yeah, they flew out all the Saudis, princes, and everybody else. But everybody else. We got locked down. We couldn't go anywhere. We were trapped. Anyway, so Biden finishes Trump's wall, and you can't get out. Throngs of people now gather at the border, with more coming, desperate to get across to find some kind of refuge. Again, from whatever it might be, nuclear attack, bioweapon. Of course, it would be some foreign rogue nation. It wouldn't possibly be our own government doing this, would they? Oh, no, they would never do that to us because they love us so much. Yeah, okay. Of course, it would be more than likely our own government. Anyway, people flocking to the border, trying to get across to find some kind of refuge, but you can't get out. Resources becoming scarce, other than that which you have brought with you, food, water. More people arriving, fear, confusion turns into anger, and people start turning on each other. People at heart are animals, okay? And they will look out for their own.
People start turning on each other. Let's get to it. This is not hypothetical, man. This is completely scriptural and biblically sound. 2nd Edges 15. It's like I'm going backwards, but going up in the same chapter. Verse 15. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. The modern day sword is a gun.
Survival and the survival of their children and their family. Way more than just you that they just happen to meet. You are the enemy at this point, believe me. Okay? People are not going to band together and sing kumbaya in a situation like this. People start turning on each other. People with guns start to use them, desperate for resources, fear, panic, hunger, thirst. The military comes in, takes over, and demands all people surrender their weapons. People fight back, not willing to surrender their weapons, and many people die. FEMA opens up temporary border camps and begin to ration food and water as more people continue to arrive at the border, which they can't get past because of Biden's wall now, seeking to get out. Quickly, unsanitary conditions develop. We've seen this before, other parts of the world.
Unsanitary conditions causes what? Pestilence, which is what prophesies in the scriptures.
Quickly, unsanitary conditions manifest themselves. Cholera, dysentery, typhoid break out. More people die. Weeks go by. Conditions get worse. More sick, dying. On the other side of the border, their military is digging in, not letting anyone cross except for the sick and dying. Temporary field hospitals become overwhelmed. Violence explodes. Martial law is declared and the Constitution is suspended. You think this can't happen? Really? Well, if you think that, you are seriously deluded. Jeff, you're gay.
Yo, so they trolling on him after that. But yeah, that's really the right spirit. You don't think that this can happen, man? And it's going to happen. And the prophets is on the street corners spewing out wisdom, okay, where wisdom is supposed to be, on them streets, all right? The ones that's really in them streets doing the righteous thing of the Lord, the will of the Lord on the right-hand side through the spirit of Pavi Abashim El Shah. All right, so now we're going, like I said, a quick little short right here. This is where I heard, because I've heard it from others, but he was the first one to bring it out, rethinking the dollar.
Part of the UK's financial sector skips a beat as Metro Bank teeters on the brinks of collapse. As the bank shares nosedive, this potential downfall sends shockwaves throughout the banking landscape. A once promising challenger, Metro Bank is now gripped by a perfect storm of over-leverage and exposure to unpredictable mortgage market, with a catastrophic 75% drop in its share price.
Look, over-leverage and he says something, mortgage market. You see, so they've been giving mortgages out to people who do, again, same thing like in 2000, before the 2008, all right, crisis or whatever they want to call it, all right. And they was giving it out on low interest rates to people who could barely really afford it, but giving out them loans. Now interest rates is going up. People can't buy. Shit is foreclosing. Shit is getting more expensive to get the materials to build houses and apartments and things of that nature. So the shit is coming. The rooster is coming to roost, man.
The bank's crisis can send ripples far beyond its own corridors. Recent weeks have seen Metro Bank share price crash from £1 down to 33 pence.
Look, from £1 down to what? 33 pence. You see the 33 at your bottom right corner. I'm telling you, man, this is all orchestrated. Okay? All orchestrated. And if you notice at the bottom left, my menorah's in the way. It says September 11th. All right. Yo, this shit, you can't make this shit up, bro. You feel me?
Scrambling to salvage the situation, the bank desperately seeks a £600 million capital injection. However, the financial guys seem to be turning a blind eye, with their shares plunging further by 25% in just a day. The heart of the problem is mortgage business. As regulators stand firm and reserve in the face of rising interest rates, Metro Bank's footing becomes all the more precarious. But why should the average Brit care? With a staggering 2.7 million customers and assets totaling £22.2 billion, the potential downfall of Metro Bank is not just an abstract headline. It's a looming nightmare that could impact countless individuals and families. But more than just the immediate aftermath, the crisis serves as a dark omen for the banking world. It lays bare the inherent vulnerabilities of the banking sector in general, compelling us to question how many more dominoes are precariously lined up, ready to be toppled over at any minute now. Just thought you might want to know. Curious to hear what you think. Shay.
See? So he said this is an omen for the whole banking industry. Okay? And then I'll get it real quick in Zephaniah, just cause. All right? Because the people will be like, well, that's in Britain. That's not in America. Well, the reason why they is getting the effects is because of the United States interest rates. Why? Because the pound, all right, in order for them to get gas, which is not even now anymore, but they had to buy oil by converting their pounds to dollars first, which propped up the U.S. dollar. This is Zephaniah 1 and verse 10, and it reads, and it shall come to pass in that day, future prophecy, saith Yahweh, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate. So people is going to cry in these places where buying and selling is going on. All right, a gate, a fish gate, a marketplace where people in the ancient world used to sell fish. They were crying and in howling from the second. You see what I'm saying? So people's going to even howl, in where buying and selling is taking place, and a great crashing from the hills. That hills are smaller mountains, right? And mountains are symbolic for kingdoms or governments. Okay, so hills, Salakia, are all of these other smaller governments that is tethered to the United States dollar, which is everybody. Okay, all right, because this is the beast system that we're working with, meaning the European Union and NATO, which is the revived Roman ancient empire, all right, with the whore that rides it, which is America. You see what I'm saying? So when America goes down, everybody's going to feel it, man. Okay, everybody is going to feel it because everybody drunk the cup of the wrath of a fornication. Okay, and then I just seen too a notification popped up on my phone, urgent on end top headlines. Israel at full-scale war following surprise attack from Hamas, over 5,000 rockets fired. So that must have happened some last night or something. So I'm just letting y'all know things is ramping up. All right, things is ramping up. Oh, this is the last regarding the concentration camp scripture in Revelation, and then we'll close it out. Revelation chapter 2 and 10, and it reads, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, which is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, you go into that word devil is diablos, which means false accuser or deceiver. Okay, shall cast you. It's not going to be some spiritual fucking red suit with a tail throwing you into prison. All right, it's him and his cronies. The devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried, and you're really tried of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. 10 is just a period of time. All right, it could be less, could be it could be 10, could be more. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Right, meaning what? Because they're going to try to tempt you from taking that chip. That's what he didn't bring out. You see what I'm saying? The reason, they're going to try to make you take that chip. But see, we're going to say, just fucking fuck you and cut my head off. you know, you see what I'm saying? Fuck it. We know what's to come if that's our lot. First one in them chariots, and then it's an honorable thing to die, for this truth, man. Even Yahweh Shah said, "For there is no greater love, but for what's the name of for a man to die for his brother," and that's what Yahweh Shah did. That's why we don't own our bodies. All right, we got to present our bodies as a living sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? That's why we do these videos. That's why we go to the highways and hedges. But time is getting there. I got to make a move. Plantation, man. There's holes in our pockets. The borrower is serving unto the lender. So, hey, let's get moving. Hey, Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. I'll come back with another one through the spirit of Papa Yahweh Shai. I don't want to write the Zak, Kwam Yasharala, Abba Ball. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabrak Katham, everybody that tuned in with me, man. Shalom to the next time. Shalom.